What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and many people have been waiting for Borderlands 3 for years now, and like a lot of you guys, the game series in general is one of my all-time favorites. Hopefully we see some new information about the game very soon, but with that in mind, today I thought I'd cover everything we do know so far about Borderlands 3. I did a video similar to this about a year ago, and since then quite a lot more information has come out about the game. We have some huge leaks regarding the storyline and characters, some subtle teases here and there about the game, and much more we're going to be covering. I'll start the video off covering the new stuff that has come out recently, and then after that I'll put everything else into kind of like a timeline regarding the information that has come out about the game over the years. So with all that being said, let's jump straight into it. So starting off with the new leaked information, and it's always risky to trust leaks. At the end of the day, leaks are always based on early information that could change by the time the actual game comes out. But when they're put out there by a source like Rooster Teeth, a channel with deep links in the gaming industry and millions of fans, you kind of have to pay attention. Essentially, they received some exclusive details from one of their sources regarding the next Borderlands game. The first piece of information that was revealed is that there were 4 playable characters: the Soldier class, the Siren class, the Assassin class, and the Hunter class. The Soldier class is based around tech and robotics and can call in a giant robot mech. The Siren is a female melee class with a ground and pound and self-projection skill. The Assassin was reported to be similar to Zero from Borderlands 2, with the ability to throw decoys to draw aggro and some other abilities as well. And finally, the Hunter class, which is a robotic beastmaster that can choose between 3 different pets that all have different abilities. Now, if these leaks are believed to be true, I mean, this was kind of expected, right? 4 playable characters at launch, have a couple more that come in the form of downloadable content. That's typically the way this kind of stuff works. And if that was me, I think I'd probably go with the Hunter class on that one. That's kind of my character that I like. I was Mordecai in Borderlands 1. And in Borderlands 2, I did go with a bit of an overpowered character in the Gunzerker. Later on, I did switch to the Siren, but either way, that is the character leaks there. Moving on from that, the source also claimed that Borderlands 3 would be announced during the first or second quarter of 2019, which fits in with the previous suggestion that the game would be revealed before September 2019, and lends even more potential to a possible E3 reveal. While it is most likely that the game will be revealed at E3, I still am hoping that some more information does come out about this game. I've been waiting way too long for this. But moving on again here, there was also a mention of a trophy room, and supposedly when you reach a certain point in the game, you can unlock a trophy room where you get to show off your core loot, which pretty much allows you to claim bragging rights over your friends. Anyway, following on from these leaks by Rooster Teeth came another video by a YouTuber called Sup Matto. You can check out his link in the description as well. And he supposedly knew the information that Rooster Teeth had come out with since September, and he had even more information that his sources allowed him to come out with. Again, this is leaked information, so keep that in mind, but he claimed that Tiny Tina would be making a return in Borderlands 3, and she would be about 5 or 6 years older than she was in Borderlands 2. Alongside the returning Tiny Tina will be Claptrap, because you pretty much can't have a Borderlands game without featuring Claptrap. That guy's been trucking along for years now, and I really do hope we do see him in the next game. Just make sure there's no stairs in the game gearbox, you know, that's his worst enemy. Moving on again, the leaker also claimed that the game would start off on Pandora, but we wouldn't be staying there for too long. Not only would you be visiting Promethea, this was an Easter egg that was referenced in Battleborn, and we'll get more into that later on in the video, but other planets would be playable as well, Eden 6 being one of them. This is a planet mentioned by Marcus in the Arid Badlands of Claptrap's new Robotic Revolution DLC, though we have no idea what this planet is actually like. The leaker does go on to say that new planets also means new enemies, and we should prepare for both new humanoid and new insect-like enemies. Some of these new humanoid enemies are known as the Children of the Vault, and their leaders the Calypso. We supposedly team up with the Raiders and follow them off Pandora to these other locations. Now, to fight all these new enemies, we're going to need new weaponry, and the leaker gave us a little bit of an insight into those too. He claimed that we would see the return of Atlas, Jacobs, and Maliwan manufactured weapons, but we may also get to use Children of the Vault weaponry and more. While the weapon manufacturers will still have unique traits of their own, the weapons will supposedly have more depth than ever before, able to change their elements, behaviors, and even their designs. This is something that I am most looking forward to in the next game. You know, farming those weapons with friends was always something that I really enjoyed and added a lot of replayability to their games. But moving on again here, the leaker also mentioned that there was going to be 4 new different vehicles, some new passive skills, and even NPCs that can apparently revive you. And that's pretty much it for the huge leak that recently came out. Again, there is still a lot more information to go through throughout the video, so make sure that you guys do stay tuned. And now moving in to the timeline. So again, we're going to be putting this in a timeline of events starting all the way back to PAX South 2015. This is where the first hints of a new Borderlands game began to surface. After the Borderlands panel at PAX South, Randy Pitchford posted a tweet claiming that his team was recruiting for new staff to work on the next Borderlands game, and he pretty much called this the big one. Now, calling it the big one has some pretty heavy implications. It had to be the next sequel in the series, moving the story of the Borderlands universe on, as opposed to looking back at the past like the pre-sequel had done. Now, we didn't hear anything about Borderlands 3 after this for over a year, until PAX East of 2016. It was here that Randy Pitchford claimed that there was obviously going to be another Borderlands, though at this time they didn't even know if it was going to actually be called Borderlands 3. It could just be Borderlands 4 for all they know. He also mentioned that Scott Kester, the art director of Gearbox's largely panned game Battleborn and also worked on Borderlands 2 as well, would be moved over to the new Borderlands project in a similar role. Fans of the Borderlands series probably know the name Mikey Newman as well. He worked on the first game in the series as a writer and was also announced to be working on Borderlands 3 as well. But unfortunately, due to multiple health conditions, he was unable to carry on, and he had to leave the studio in 2017. Now, while the news of such a prominent figure in the success of Borderlands was worrying, the production of the game seemed to be going forward without a hitch, at least on the technical side of things. In March 2017, at GDC 2017, Randy Pitchford gave a talk and put out some of the Unreal Engine 4 technology they had been developing on display. The tech demo didn't really give us any more information on the game itself. It was really just a technology demo, but it does allow us to see how their new graphics technology had improved the overall look of the game, how the lighting improvements had made the game look more natural and dynamic, and of course how the thick lined cartoon style that Borderlands has become so well known for has evolved in the new engine. What is interesting in the tech demo, however, is a character that gets shown towards the end. It's a brand new female character, one of which we have never seen before. It does kind of go together with the leaked information, as one of the leaked characters does look like this as well, which could also explain the secrecy behind her, because you'll notice that throughout the tech demo, they're doing their best to show only specific angles of this character, and almost make it apparent that they're purposely trying to hide what this character looks like, which seems like quite a lot of effort to go to if this character wasn't going to be in the game. Anyway, now moving on to the Easter eggs that were found in Battleborn. In one of the very first story operations added to Battleborn, Atticus and the Thrall Rebellion, a Borderlands Easter egg was found. If you go over to one of the gates on the map and look through, you can see some graffiti outside of the map which spells out the word Promethea, and the A in Promethea there is a vault symbol, clearly referencing the next Borderlands game. And Promethea hasn't been mentioned a whole lot in the Borderlands series. It's basically a planet where the Atlas Corporation founded powerful alien technology, which was then reverse engineered for use on starships and in weapons. Now, the links between Promethea and Battleborn got even stronger in the future. In future DLC operations, players discovered that strange signals were being broadcast from portals, After combining and decoding all of these signals that had been found in-game, a message was discovered. It said, "Visit Promethea, children of the Vault. We are not on Pandora anymore. Tanis is not what she seems. Do not open the vaults." As crazy as it may seem, considering all of this came from a pretty forgotten game, this Easter egg was giving us the very first look at the story of Borderlands 3. Obviously, we have to go to Promethea and stop Tanis, a well-known character from both of the Borderlands games, from doing whatever evil it is that she's doing. Some players have even considered that this message could have been sent by the Iridians. Let me know what you guys think of this one in the comment section below. All I know is that this is the kind of Easter egg that I love. These are the best type of Easter eggs, you know, the ones that give us a lot of information to go by and heavily tease some stuff related to the next game. Now, the teases don't stop there. In 2017 and 2018, Randy Pitchford has been going crazy teasing the game in these mysterious tweets. And the first tease was in April 2017. Randy put up on Twitter, "Doing a shoot, I may or may not be a psycho bandit in a video game we may or may not be working on." Now, of course, this isn't a direct confirmation, but considering psychos are an enemy in the Borderlands franchise, it's safe to say that he was probably working on the game when he took that image, which does suggest that the game was pretty deep into development by that point. Now, while Randy does sometimes tweet about working on a Borderlands game more openly, there are also times where he tweets about the game a little more covertly and a lot more strangely. In November this year, Randy started tweeting some pretty damn strange things. On the 29th, he claimed that his to-do list had 3 things on it and that he had 3 meetings scheduled before 3 PM. Now, of course, when you're mentioning the number 3 a bunch of times and you're Randy Pitchford, you are most definitely teasing the next game. Now, just a day later, he also took to Twitter and said, "Fun fact, today is the number 334, number of days that have elapsed in the year. Yesterday was 333. It's really interesting how human minds take so much meaning in arbitrary numbering systems and coincidence. People will lose their minds when the calendar flips to the year 3000. Again, there is a lot of 3s mentioned in this guy's tweets. Now, his final tweet regarding the number 3 was also on November the 30th, where he claimed that it felt like E3 all over again. Was this a subtle hint that Borderlands 3 was going to be announced at last at E3 next year? Maybe, but it could also just be Randy trolling Borderlands fans. He seems to love to do that. Now, this even goes as far as Elon Musk's flamethrower potentially being added to the game. Please make this a thing. And basically, as you all know, the Borderlands franchise is well known for its legendary sense of humor, and when Elon Musk started advertising his brand new flamethrower, Randy couldn't help but get involved. In a short Twitter conversation, which was inspired by Elon Musk claiming his new flamethrowers were sentient, Randy asked if they could add the flamethrower to their next game, and that he was super serious. He even asked if Elon wanted to write the flavor text or if they could just pull it from his already existing tweets. Elon simply replied, "Sure." And while nothing has been mentioned about it since, it would be pretty damn awesome to see the Elon Musk flamethrower in Borderlands 3. And I wouldn't get too surprised if it happens too. And for the final part of the video, we have the suspected release date. Now, this was briefly touched upon earlier in the video, but I do want to go into this in a little bit more detail. And while we don't have an official confirmation of the release date, a Take-Two investor call suggested that the release window of October 2018 to September 2019 is a pretty big possibility. During the call, the CEO of Take-Two stated that a highly anticipated title from one of 2K's biggest franchises was in development for the fiscal year of 2019, which is between those 2 months. Randy has also claimed in the past that the game would be released very shortly after its announcement, and E3 2019 is right in the middle of those months, and seems like the best time to announce the game and release it a couple of months later. And that's pretty much it for everything we know so far about Borderlands 3. I wanted to condense this all down into an easily digestible video and kind of simplify things as much as I could. So as always, if you guys did enjoy this video today, be sure to leave a like down below. It's always greatly appreciated on the channel. This is a game that, again, I have been waiting for so long. It's a game that I will 100% be covering in depth, from top 5 best weapons videos, all the top 5 and top 10 series that I do for Fallout currently, and just a bunch more coverage on that game when it does come out. I'm going to bring this series back to the channel, the Everything We Know So Far series. I have an episode coming out soon based on the Outer Worlds, and any other games you want me to do this on, be sure to put them in the comments below. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.